The Origins of Life, Reflections of Love and Light, Part 11. Alright, sorry about the previous one with the audio problem. I tried doing it with the headphones, but it's too muffled, like my microphone's hanging down and I'm speaking forward to my phone and stuff like that, so I'll have to try and make sure I don't put my hand in my, wherever it were. But, so anyway, as we carry on, now we're looking at deeper into what it all is, you know. For example, you can see the tiger pattern. You see the stripes? So we're getting closer. There we go. But not only that, it's like the arch of its back, like its hind end there, and then the rest of it comes off like its tail. You know, quite often the run of the tail goes to the side, kind of thing, like. And it's like, it's quite a common shape actually. We'll see it again over and over and stuff like. So like in that movement that it's doing, it's finding all these shapes. You know what I mean? Everything's to do with like the pressure of the environment and stuff like the strength of the wave and all these kind of stuff. And, you know, it's all based on like the water experimenting. You know, like I described the plants being like scouts for the land and stuff like, you know, testing the environment and the nutrients and what it needs to survive and stuff like, you know, it's like a plant has to be in the right, or the right plant needs to be in the right temperature and climate, sorry. So, you know, it's that kind of exploration that nature kind of took, you know what I mean? We'll get deeper into that as well as we go along and stuff like. So I also want to keep that spiritual aspect of it. You know, this idea that it's conscious, you know what I mean? Like water and the elements, all of them kind of thing like. And water's relationship with the other elements and stuff like. You got the sun, you know what I mean? You got this bright glare and stuff kind of thing like coming across front of wave, which is like those fish with line on it. So quite often, I mean, I thought it would be a horizon, which in one sense it is because it's like a reflection of it, isn't it? You know what I mean? You've got the shadow of a wave as well, but at the same time, that sunlight is coming from the horizon and stuff. So, you know, it's incorporating everything. Like I say, everything kind of like interrelates and stuff like how water moves and stuff like it's all yeah, and you know how it incorporates and acts with the other elements and stuff like everything's interrelated, you know. So so like I say about this, like it does look alive to a certain degree, you know what I mean? There's this personality to it. There's it looks like something wants to jump out of the water and stuff like the water itself does, you know. And also you got all this spray which comes over the top. It makes a particular shape. It's almost like a bird's head. Because it's mixing with the air, then you've got like our feathers, you know what I mean, and our hair, our fur, you know what I mean, all this kind of stuff, and it does look fur-like and stuff. And also like the time-lapse effect that you get, and how water incorporates that is an important aspect of things. I'm not sure if I spoke about that on a previous video or I've, you know, if it's this one, and I've not, I've previously done it on a pre-recorded video. Hold on. It might be this one actually. So I will re-explain as we come to the right pictures and stuff. Again, this looks almost alive. You know what I mean? It's like it looks like a leaf or a cobra. You know what I mean? Or you know, there's quite a few of these kind of images online and stuff like. I think I've taken a few as well. So you know, sometimes they'll look a little bit different, but with generally this kind of shape and stuff like. Again, reflection, all the shapes and stuff like these lines, which are going along that way, even though the waves this way. So the line on that one, that's better for, you know, like the fish with a stripe going across them. It looks a bit like a Chinese dragon. You got all this long body kind of thing. And there's a lot going on, you know what I mean? You've got that shape for one thing. It doesn't have to be a dragon, you know what I mean? It could be anything with a body, you know what I mean? A torso kind of shape and stuff. But also what we've got is the concept of breathing, you know? Like, as all the air gets trapped inside, and you can see it there, can't you? Like a tube of air and stuff like, and all the water's going to collapse around it, and then, you know, it's going to, you know, break up in between it and stuff like that kind of thing, and become, you know, like, look underneath there, you see all gaps, and it's all like really pale colour because it's got full of bubbles and stuff like underwater, compared to there where it's dark and stuff. So the drag, the lines that go that way, there's momentum and movement in it and stuff like. I kind of think it's taking the circular shape, but also that shape is part of understanding how the world works. You know, like I say about pressure and you know, everything like gravity, or, you know, if I can, you know, to use a word. So like the teeth of it, you know what I mean? It's all incorporated. So it's got like a mouth action, it's got a breathing action, it's got like a lung way of seeing things and stuff like, or experiencing things. Oh, and these patterns are common on fish and frogs or whichever else and stuff. It's more personality of it. That tunnel shape. This is a common thing. This line, we see this on. It's quite a few fish which will have this line, which is kind of like across its body and stuff. We'll get to them. Colours, all sorts. It's a ridge, like a backbone. Like I was talking about the tiger, or any creature, you know what I mean? But and also, you know, the little overlaps of a wave and stuff like, looking like things jumping out and stuff. All these lines. Right, so in comparison, you see like that? You got all these lines, you've got the backbone, and you've got the drag, whichever way up it is. It could be that way. So that's like the wave, the archet wave is the spine of it. See that line? That's like the common line. We'll see more, you know, correct angles and stuff. Again, waves, how it moves. You know, talking about this being the tiger, you know, like the stripe and like its backbone and these being the stripes and stuff. Also, like the peacock, you know what I mean? You can still see like that pattern and stuff like, which I'm retracting it, you know what I mean? Because, well, one thing, we didn't have speedboats or anything like that when life were being created and stuff. I mean, I did speak about like sea snakes and anything that can swim through water and stuff like that. And this was supposed to be like an exaggerated example of it and stuff like. So, but what is right is the wave. It's this part which is what we should have been looking at. But for the backbone, not the stripes and stuff. Again, it's like, yeah, this is where the wave is. The arch-up wave is making its back. Let's have a look. So this one, like the first picture we looked at, its arches up and then its tail comes over, and that's like the turning of the wave and stuff like, and that's the build up of the wave, is its backbone. So go back to there. You see all like that? Arch it back, it's behind it, kind of thing. And then it's like elongated. But you see where I'm coming from, though. You know what I mean? It's holding that shape and, like I said, that pattern and stuff. So, kind of thing. It gets that arch, you know. So, in the same respect, the snake, its backbone is the wave, and these lines, which we're pointing out, is all part of it, isn't it? So it builds up to there, it gets that wave, and then you got that side. Although it's equal in it for ribs and stuff like it, they both go the same way, but it's two hemispheres. It's like that is a repeat of that side. So like on the fish, you got what the same picture, or I think. Right, it's a picture on each side either way. Have a build up wave. Got that act to it. I should have pointed that out as well. Got the mouth of a wave. It's going two different directions. You've got the wave of the spine, like coming towards the camera, and then the mouth of the wave is going to the left, kind of thing. Like, so you've got like that interrelatable design that is created. You know, it's like, you know, because it's 3D, or it's multifunctional in a sense and stuff like. It makes it work, and you know what I mean, in this realm and stuff like having two eyes and having two hemispheres, you know. So like how the water's witnessed it and stuff. Again, you got your backbone of your wave, and then your current lines. The same again. Same again. You can see curl, how it curls in. So look at it like that, and then compare it to that. See, that's the same shape. It drags away, it curls in. that's like a leaf. It's like a backbone. It's like its antenna. It's so many things it kind of like compares to. Like your hands, how your hands splay out, you know? That's another aspect of things. Because that's like when it gets to Shah and all that kind of stuff. I'll show you an example in a bit. But light focusing through water, it's another thing. Because of the curve of the glass, it kind of makes that focus line and all that kind of thing. And obviously water is constantly changing shape, isn't it? It's an interesting one. It looks like a leaf. You see all a concertina kind of pattern which goes through it, and you get that on like the butterfly wings and I've seen it loads of things, and leaves and all these kind of things and stuff like it. Like I say, it looks like a leaf in that kind of sense, but it also looks like an elephant's ear. You see, like this bit here, it's like an overflap. Like that's edge of its ear connecting to its head, and you got that overflap, and then the rest of it all draws back. Even looks like its eye and part of its face there. Coincidentally, but this shape, like you look at that, if it were ice, that's what it'd look like. So we were talking about how the fish cannot quite often have this like outline that goes around them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how the light's bending in the water. You know what I mean, to create it, and the light there and stuff. And that bit there, as it overhangs there, you got that white stripe, and there, and you see that quite often in fish. And like I say, it's like the freezing aspect of water can freeze in that shape. If water can take a shape, it can say like memory, remember it to be that shape. But obviously when it gets frozen, it's going to be frozen in whatever shape it's in. But it also remembers being frozen, so it can duplicate both of those bits of information and put them together, and then make your fish shape or whatever, or this shape, like a cobra's head, or like the Fibonacci spiral golden ratio pattern that is always there with waves. All those shapes, a tunnel. There's just so much to show. This is going to be quite a long video actually, although I haven't got the time to make long videos at the moment. So it's like I'm doing the same point, and it's going to kind of go over several videos where I've usually like tried to cover a point in each video and stuff. I wanted to point this out as well. These patterns here, you see like how it zigzags into its concertina and Fibonacci golden ratio patterns and stuff, and it's also like a leaf or a fish's fin, or all those kind of things. But it's also like the eye migraine. When you think about like you got water in your pineal gland, then basically it's like the biorefraction within that water, which is giving you like a psychic image, or like as simply as like if I mention an apple and you visualize an apple, a green one, and then you know what I mean. You kind of you're creating imagery in your mind, aren't you? So that's part of it. It's a biorefract. It's something about it that makes it birefringent. Sorry. Which means double refraction, which we spoke about on the ice video, didn't we? Again, like a fin, it's got like the backbone of a fin there, what I mean, or as it reaches into the backbone of fish. The lines that come with it are like ribs. That's how it reaches over. All that pull, there's a lot of power in it, isn't there? you know. So then, like, you see that looks like ribs. It's like when you go to the butchers and you see, you know, a steak on, well, a carcass on hung up, and you can see all ribs inside and stuff. And also how dark it is in there and stuff. Also, the sound it makes. So if you incorporate all the sensors, you know what I mean, breathing, sight, all them kind of things, hearing, you know, um, everything into it. Like I say, ribs, it's all body parts and everything. It's getting it from knowing the dimensions of the realm, you know what I mean, knowing the properties of knowing the what it is, you know, like the pressure and gravity and whatever, you know, temperature and how thick the oxygen is and all that kind of stuff. It's sensing it all, you know what I mean? When it's like, you know, smashing into, you know, sand and stuff like that, trapping oxygen within it, and then like the water becoming so oxidized, the water just knows how much oxygen's in it, you know, or whatever other gas is in there and stuff. Another one, looking like an eye. Ah, yeah, time lapse. So, you know, as a consideration of how the water works and how it might not do it like a still picture. It could do time lapses. It's kind of like it's something which is kind of important to kind of consider. And how alive it looks. And the reflection at sunlight, it looks like a cliff face. The colour of it and stuff like that, golden kind of colour. The Siamese fighting fish. It's thin, it comes out of the body of water, which is what it's representing. And so it's like the body of water hits here, and then it splashes out. Excuse me. And the time lapse is the experience of it. So that's where these lines come from, you know? Because it's like I say about a hand, it splays out. I can't curl my fingers because, I mean, I can curl them that way. That's different. That's like the interrelation, you know what I mean, is the opposite direction. But for forwards, I can only, you know, spread forwards kind of thing. Like, I can't, you know, twist them that way and that way. I can only splay, you know what I mean, or go straight. And that's what water does when it is the shore. It'll splay out or it'll go straight depending on the landscape and the pressure behind it and etc. So like that time lapse there, you can see, you know what I mean? It just seems to make sense how that's part of it. And also like when the water splashes up, you know what I mean? It makes those patterns, those leaf patterns and stuff like that. That's kind of similar. So like when the sunlight catches it, most fish have like, you know, the tips of the fins have kind of got colour in it and stuff like, you know, to represent the sun and stuff like. So the sun's catching it because it's coming out of the water and stuff. And also, you know, because the fins coming out of the water, coming out of the body. More time lapse. For colours as well. Right. Like plants, coral, all that kind of stuff. Trees, bushes, you know what I mean? It's kind of endless in a sense. It all reminds me of an ant like popping up and splaying out in a way. Like drama. All these shapes as well. how it lurches out. Another tiger. A tail flips over. You know, I mean, you can't see it as well. Shaping is distinct, and you can't see the lines as well, kind of thing. Like, but yeah, it doesn't have to be a tiger, does it? You know, it's like, you know, whatever it's kind of finding, you know, in its movement and stuff. I'll zoom in. See that shape? It's up there, and then it climbs, and it drops down. Same on the other one as well. We've got some more of them. I'll end it here, and I'll get on with the next one, and I'll try and get it done tonight as well. So next one. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in a bit. Cheers.